The Heroic Evolution released, and Nova Grappler has been running around and slapping Bermuda all over the place. A lot of you asked for this. This isn't a deck preview. This is going to be a really quick video. I'm in the middle of like deadline hell death season, so I really don't have time to record a proper deck preview or really anything too detailed for now. But I will try to maybe make something at some point, if not then just a deck profile or something. But for now, I just want to talk about why Nova Grappler is so good, and I'll give you a basic kind of combo tutorial. One's going to be a 3-card combo, one's going to be a 4-card combo, but I think once you see even one of them, you'll see how the deck works and you'll be able to experiment a lot more on your own as well. So this is just kind of to get you started in case you don't know where to go yet. So, Beast Deity's got the insane grade 3 that is a Luminal Dragon. This dude absolutely carries them, and he's just so good because one, he's on hit pressure in the sense that anything that hits powers him up, and anything that doesn't hit is going to restand and get a 10k buff. That's the best part. So the 15k buff, I need to talk about that on its own. It's a kind of circumvention, or a way to circumvent, I think is the right way to say that, damage triggers. So if your opponent does get a damage trigger, then, well, you get a power-up that's a bit more than the damage trigger, and that's actually a really good way for Axel clans to go about it, or at least the Axel clans that are based on multi-attacking, like Nova Grappler. Like, they already had Azure Dragon beforehand, but Azure was good, but he really felt like he was a bit lacking in power, and wasn't able to really push out that much, whereas now, with the addition of Illuminal, is just really good and makes it so much more stronger in my opinion. But that's not all of the good stuff that we got in this set. Another really important card for Nova Grappler right now, both in Standard and Premium, is Kick Typhoon, who okay, first things first, so I forgot to even mention with Illuminal, is that his power buff, so both the one on him and also on the unit that stands, is a turn-based ones. So the plus 10k that he gives to the rearguard and the plus 15k that he gives himself are both for that turn, and which is especially relevant for the unit that gains it, because if you're giving it to a rearguard that's going to attack like 2, 3, 4 times this turn, obviously that plus 10k buff is going to be huge. But that's not all. So as I said, Kick Typhoon is our new amazing grade 2 in the deck, which is a triple rare, and he has one simple skill, which is when you ride him or call him to an additional axle, well, to an axle circle basically, he gains 5k for that turn as well. So that's yet another turn-based power addition that isn't just for a particular battle, so that's also very good. But where Kick shines the most is that he's a once per turn on rearguard circle. When he attacks, if all of your front row units are occupied, or like all your front row rearguard circles are occupied with a unit, then you can counterblast one to stand one of your other rearguards, which is really good because you can do this on turn 2, you can do this in Premium when you're playing for a grade 2 game, and in Standard it combines super well with the new units in order to push out an amazing series of attacks with a lot of extra power. So definitely Kick is an amazing card. Filling up his requirements is super easy. The only thing is the counterblast. Then finally, the grade 1 in my opinion that really seals the deal and is just like the icing on the cake is the Grant's Dragon. So Grant's is a once per turn rearguard circle skill. When your other unit attacks, if you have a Beast Deity grade 3 Vanguard, then you can Soul Blast 1 to stand him. So this isn't even like when your Vanguard attacks, this is literally when anything of yours attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 to stand him, which means that you can really play with the timing and do it exactly when you want it to happen. So that's why it's so good, and all these cards just, they complement each other super well, and it makes it just so much better in my opinion. The last card that I'll comment on is Drill the Duel. So this is kind of like where it goes beyond the 3-card combo. Drill the Duel is a really good card because of the way that it's worded. So he has a skill that when he boosts you have to discard, well, you may discard a card. But if you do, until end of turn, when your opponent would guard from hand against the battle of the unit that was boosted by this unit, then they must call 2. So it's a battle or effect that it gives to the unit that it boosted for that turn. So say that you give it to something that is going to be restanding like 2-3 times, they're going to have to guard with 2 cards every single time against that unit, and that is absolutely insane. It's just really good, and that makes this card just bonkers, honestly. So Drill the Duel is a really crazy addition in my opinion to the deck, and it just makes everything so much better. So now we're going to show you a couple of quick combos. Like I said, I haven't tested the deck much, but I do know it more or less in theory. You know, I have a deck list in mind and everything, but I haven't really sat down with it because I'm just too busy with university. But once I have some more time, then I'll definitely will, and I'll give you a better feature of the deck too. But for now, I just want to go over the combos and really the bread and butter of the deck. Alright, so now I'm going to show you your basic 3-card combos. So we've written our Illuminal because he is kind of the focus unit we've been talking about here, and then the 2 cards you really need to have are the Kick and the Grants that I mentioned. So what we'll do is we'll call the Kick here. He won't get the extra 5k, but that's alright, and we'll call the Grants over here because having him on the Axel circle is good. good because he'll be swinging for 18k, that way hitting for magic numbers, which is pretty optimal. But we do have to fill up our last front row rear guard circle, so we do have to call something. Like, I literally picked a 12k vanilla essentially, so that it doesn't affect the way the gameplay will move. So what we're gonna do is keep in mind that Illuminal puts your opponent in a weird state, where they either have to take the attack and have Illuminal gain power, or they have to guard the attack and risk the unit that attacked restand, which is a good, thing in with basically everything. So what we'll do is we'll swing with the grants. Now, let's say our opponent guards this because it's only an 18k, so it's a 10k guard. Then if they do, we can counterblast 1 with Illuminal skill and stand this, and it's going to be 18k already, and we can attack with it immediately because that's what Illuminal lets us do in the battle phase, but it has to attack the Vanguard. So that was 18, now this is going to be 28 already. And so now what we're going to be able to do is attack with the kick, use kick skill to counterblast 1 and restand this again. So this is going to be another, this is just a 9, so it's not all that much, but I mean, this is going to be a 28, so that's already swinging for huge numbers. And then we're going to be able to, let's say, attack with our Vanguard, then we'll be able to Soul Blast 1 for Grants' skill, so let's say we just Soul Blast 1 here. Stand the grants, and then we're still able to drive check with our Illuminal, who is now at 27. So we check 1, check 2, there's nothing really in there, so that's alright. And then we can swing with our 12k here, and then swing with the grants here. So this is your super basic combo. Obviously it depends a lot on whether you hit with certain attacks or not. So that's, something to keep in mind. We assumed here that the first one of these got guarded, but if it doesn't, for example, like let's say we just, put it back to what it was, this attacks, let's say they let it hit. Okay, Illuminal gains his power, that's fine. So then we attack with our kick, use the skill, and then stand our, whoops, that kind of turned the wrong way. We stand our grants. Then, if this doesn't hit, we do have the option to stand him with Illuminal, but we can potentially just keep trying to pressure our opponent a little bit and see if we can keep powering up this grant so that we don't have to just swing with a 24, because it's a little bit of an awkward number. So here we can still, swing with this one, and then, if it really doesn't hit, and let's say even after Soul Blasting and etc., they still don't let it hit, then I would say you're attacking with this, and then if it doesn't hit, then you stand this. Obviously there is a chance your opponent lets everything hit, in which case you're probably potentially winning. So, I mean, because this is already what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks. So if your opponent does let everything hit, then they will lose, unless they really get, even if they get damage triggers, then that means the attack didn't hit, and you can actually manipulate that a little bit to make use of Illuminal skills. So keep all that in mind, and that's gonna really work out for you, I think, because this is just an amazing combination of cards that makes everything work super nicely. So let me show you another quick combo before we finish off. So this time we don't even need the extra other card. This is really just the 3 cards we really need for this combo. So we're gonna call down the grants here, and I'll call Drill the Duel here. Although we do need one more card just to actually discard 4 of the Drill the Duel's cost. So we'll grab that Azure Dragon back here, and then we'll call kick to the Axle Circle, so he gains his extra 5k for the turn, so he'll be a 14k or 24 with the Axle once. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna attack with this. So this is just a 16k, obviously nothing big, but we're gonna use Drill the Duel skill, so that your opponent has to guard with 2 cards if they want to guard this, which is really huge. And if they don't guard it, then we're going to be able to get a plus 15k power on our Illuminal, which is also good. So whether your opponent takes this or not, that's going to be pretty detrimental to them. So, okay, let's say they take it, Illuminal gains the power. They don't want to drop 2 cards just for a 16k attack. Then we're going to attack with our kick, use a skill to stand our grants. And so here this would only be a 24 basically, so then if they choose to take it, then I mean that's fine. If they don't, then we could use Illuminal skill here to make this into a 34, but I mean that's also kind of, we want to keep restanding this guy instead, so we're going to try to pressure with him instead. So what we'll do now is attack with him again, and here if he's only 8k and he hasn't been restood by Illuminal, he will definitely miss. Therefore we're going to be able to use Illuminal skill to restand him, and also give him the plus 10k. So now he's swinging for an 18, and he attacks the Vanguard through Illuminal skill, and your opponent has to guard with 2 cards, which is also very big. So that's going to be something good as well. Then we're still going to be able to attack with the Vanguard and use the kick skill. Not the kick skill, sorry. We're going to be able to use the Grants' skill to still stand him and attack with the Illuminal, check our 2 cards, and then because this is like an 18k still, we can still attack and force our opponent to guard with 2 cards. Now I think there's a more optimal way to do this combo. I just wanted to show off like why Droll the Duel is so good, because I feel like some people weren't paying attention to his wording, but like this card is honestly really good, but obviously it costs a discard but only once, but it makes your opponent lose so many cards in hand that's like it's so important in Standard. So these are some of the ways that you can play Nova Grappler, some of the combos that you can do. Keep in mind the kind of mind game power of Illuminal. It really does mess with your opponent here and there, and you can really make use of the game state very well by using him efficiently, so make sure to keep that in mind. Also, this dude is a good card because if your stuff gets retired, he gets procced first, so that's definitely very good. So that's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little look into Nova Grappler post the. So it is a really good set. Nova Grappler finally went from being tier 74 to tier 1, and it's honestly really exciting, and it's all that it took is a couple of good cards. Like, that's really the best part about it. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But yeah, so I'll see you guys next time, hopefully after I'm done with my deadlines and a little bit less stressed. So I hope to see you in a better state. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.